those of you guys that might not know me yet, my name is Liz Mercado. I'm the star director of the Tinker Stars team, and this is my husband,
Daniel.
We have been married for 10 years. We've been together for 12. We have 3 children together, and he was very supportive with me jumping in to Scentsy from the get-go. He was kind of like, if you want to do it, go ahead. But at the beginning, I will say that it wasn't very easy to get help and support. It was kind of just like, yeah, I'm okay with you doing it. Like, fine, whatever, you do you. But over the years, we've kind of figured out some ways that we can work this together. And so first thing first, I think you need to know the strengths and the weaknesses. For a long time, I was asking him for help that he did not want to give.
All the
time. So I'm an extrovert, as you guys can tell. He's an introvert, and he does not like all of this shiny spotlight. I remember you telling me at one point, I'm okay with being like the curtain call guy. Like, I open the curtains and you can go and shine, and I'll close the curtains when you're done. Like, you know, just kind of stage manager. Like, I'll help you with what you need in the background. And that's kind of how it's been in our situation. So what are some of the things that, off the top of your head, you do in the backgrounds that help out our business?
Helping out with the kids.
Official babysitter over here. Just kidding.
You know, housework while you're running the Scentsy business. I'll be washing dishes, putting the food away. Once that's done, I try to help out with whatever else I can.
So when I went to my first Scentsy family reunion, I had I don't know, she was like 15 months old, 16 months old, and I was pregnant. So he did come along with me to that one. And right then and there, we kind of realized that he was going to have to be like a hands-on dad when it came to like Scentsy events, because of the fact that Scentsy events don't really allow children. And so we don't really have people to leave our kids with. So we decided at that point in Vegas, I think it was, that when SFR comes up, I'll stay home with the kids. I'll take time off and I'll stay with them. Actually, I think it was when it was Kansas City that our babysitter fell through, because life happens. And from then on, from that year on, he said, it's not a question. When SFR comes, I'll take time off and I'll stay home with the kids. And so that has been a really great support for me to know that when I have to go to World Tour, or when I have to go to SFR or any leadership kind of training, that we can work as a team for him to be, you know, very hands-on, doing my role as a mom in the dad form to help out with the kids. Another thing that I think is very important is the emotional support. And I can say that I've been lucky. I know that everybody gets that right away. Direct sale companies have such a bad reputation in a way, and some people don't understand direct sales, but I think it's very important to talk with your spouse or significant other and let them know, like, hey, I don't need you to, you know, go out there and do parties and sell, but I need you to help me try to figure this out. Be supportive. I know that I'm able to vent with him when I'm stressing, when I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I should just quit. And he's like, no, you're not going to quit. And so it helps out a lot. What are some other things that we do that we work together?
I mean, we do all I help you with your labeling and all that stuff.
That's, yeah. When orders come in, he is like, while we're watching TV, we're labeling. We're preparing mailers. The other day I posted a picture and he was labeling the mailers as I was putting things in. He helps me separate orders. He has taken orders when he's been like at work. He does take catalogs and stuff like that when he was at the dealership. And actually, do you want to tell him about that Christmas that was slow at the dealership in Utah?
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's just I can't remember exactly what day it was. I don't know if it was maybe before Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve. Long story short, it was a slow day in the dealership. No cars coming. We were in Utah. Lots of snow, so no traffic, no nothing. So since I live literally 3 minutes away from the job, I told my boss I was gonna go and pretty much make some money. So I went and grabbed pretty much all the supplies that we had. I went upstairs to all the ladies in the office, and I think I must have sold like $400 worth of Scentsy stuff in a matter of, I don't know, maybe 10 15 minutes. So I actually think after that day I just clocked out and went home, since there were no cars coming and we were closing. So I pretty much made our day pretty much by selling Scentsy.
Yeah, I remember you calling me, and I was working at the office, and he was like, how much I've sold? And I thought he was going to say something like 100 or 150. He's like, I've sold $400 already. So that's a great way to support your, have your spouse support you, is have them take catalogs with them to work. Have them take, a warmer. I know when he was at the dealership, he always had a warmer in his Bay Area. He always had the Scentsy Go. Remember when we had the Scentsy Go? Literally, people would be like, how does your Bay Area smell so good? It doesn't smell like oil and tires. Hello, my wife sells Scentsy. And I still have customers at the dealership to this day because he would do that for me. So that's a great way to get spousal support. Let's see. Another thing that he helps me with is events. If you've ever done events, getting that canopy up is torturous. And so he has come to events, helped me set up, helped me take down. And then in the meantime, he's with the kids, maybe they'll stick around for a little bit, or he'll take them around depending on the type of event. And so that, sometimes he'll bring me dinner if it's a really long event. So those are the little things that you have to look at. Sometimes we are so focused on what we want our spouse or significant other to help us with. I wanted him to be a Justin Cox, I can't remember, Brian Dalkey, all up front and center doing trainings and doing all this stuff, but that's not his thing. That's not what he likes to do. This actually, I'm so thankful for him today because this is very uncomfortable for him, and I appreciate that. But I had to learn to use his strengths to help me in my business, okay? And my biggest advice would probably be to be honest and just talk. When I finally talked to him and I said, I need help in my business. I need, something's got to give to be able to make this work. And then he was open enough to say, what do you need from me? What can I help you with? And of course, my go-to was well, I want you to do lives and I want to do this. And he was like, I don't want to do a live. I don't want to sniff bars on a live video. And he's done it from time to time, but it's very uncomfortable for him. So we've been able to work together in learning, hey, these are his strengths that he can bring into the business. These are the strengths that I can use to continue this business. What's your advice to any husband or spouse?
Just be there as much as you can. Just like she said, just do the little things. If you're like me, I just don't like being out there in the spotlight. So like she said, I'm always behind the curtains, with the kids, housework. Like she said, labeling the mailers, or even when she's actually at work at the school and I have a day off and she has stuff to mail, I'll take them to the post office, mail them out for her. The stuff that she can't do while she's at work during the weekdays, that would probably take longer to do when she gets out, I'm able to do, in the morning with the kids, just load them up in the car and take off and help her out. Or I remember I delivered a couple orders for you as well.
Yep. And if your spouse or significant other is like okay with branding, for years he had a Scentsy backpack. For years. Like that was the backpack he would take to work. That's the backpack he would take on anything that he was doing. He won't let me put a decal on his car because it's his little baby, but there's times where like he'll come out dressed and like he'll have his Scentsy shirt on. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't even have to ask him. Like, that's so awesome. So if they don't mind like wearing the brand, get your significant other a shirt or a hat or something that they like to wear. You know, like if your spouse is into like capped hats, get them a capped hat. If they wear like a backpack, get them a backpack. There's so much things that you can get from the Scentsy Success Store, or even like have someone make for you that they can use to brand themselves, even if it's a pen.
Well, it's
Like,
not necessarily clothing. I mean, my car is branded, but I don't have a sticker saying Scentsy, but I do have the clips.
You see, very, very good one there. He's like, I might not have a sticker, but it's branded. I have all this stuff. Okay, so we do have some questions from some of our teammates that we'll go through and answer. So the first one was, how do you separate Scentsy life from family and work life? I'm having trouble trying to do it all and sometimes get very overwhelmed. This is a very, very good question. And I think we can both agree that for a long time, Scentsy was like 24/7.
For a while
I did not know how to put a balance, because sometimes what we're doing in our business comes to a point where it's enjoyable, it's easy, but we have so much to do that we're like constantly working. I think that there has been times where he has come to me and say, hey, we need a family day. And I have literally messaged my leaders and I'd be like, hey, I'm going to the beach with the family, leaving my phone in the car. Please like take care of the team page. Or, hey, I'm going to Disney World this weekend, gonna have my phone off. Please like take care of the team page. You have to take those moments. You have to take those breaks. You have to, even if it's just a movie night at home, turn off your phone, put it in the other room, and turn it off for a movie or for a show. Because you don't want your family, especially your significant other, to resent Scentsy because you don't have time. But at the same time, it is work, and we have to put in the work, right? So, anything you want to add to that?
I thought I was, but I think I kind of lost it. So.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
You see? Extrovert, introvert. Like, he's not like, hold up, let me take over and talk.
I was thinking about it, but I lost it.
Okay, next question. Do you think working your Scentsy business together has increased customer loyalty? Your customers see you both in it together, supporting each other, and the customers want to help you both reach the goal. What do you think?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, like the people at the dealership, like, you know, they've always showed support and helped out, knowing that not to say, well, that I'm the main source of income, but they see that even though I'm working a full-time job, I'm still kind of working while I'm working. So, I guess, yeah.
I think that it does to an extent. I think that customer loyalty comes more from the customer service that you give. But I think when people can see that your significant other is backing you up, they take you slightly more serious, because they can see the seriousness in your business. Like I said at the beginning, I feel like direct sales has such a bad rap, and people are like joining and quitting and joining and quitting, that sometimes when people find that consultant, they're kind of like, oh, I wonder if this one's going to actually be like in it for the long run, or like if she's going to flake out in a matter of a few months. So I think that when they see that someone's supporting you, they kind of feel like, hey, like she might be taking this seriously a little bit easier than just meeting someone and being like, I wonder if she's going to be a good consultant. But I think that customer loyalty definitely comes more from the customer service that they get. Next question. When you hit that occasional plateau, how do you both help each other to keep a positive attitude and push through? I can say that he's more optimistic than I am during those moments. I've been quick to be like, I feel like quitting, I'm done. And he'll be like, no, you're not. Like, keep going. And he's even made me, like, realize some of the times that I've wanted to quit, it's not even for, like, my own reasons. It's because I'm hurt or I'm having a hard time. And he'll remind me, like, you know, when tough times comes, you know, we man up. I don't know, like, what do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I always push you. I mean, just not let all that hard work go. Just let it go.
Has there been any time that you feel like quitting?
No.
No? Okay, good. So do you... I said, good question.
Oh, okay.
Like, I wonder if you've ever thought, like, you know?
No, I haven't.
Do you schedule Scentsy events, parties, lives, vendor events around both of your work schedules? Yes, yes, yes. So...
Now more than ever.
Now more than ever, but I remember there was a time, a day, I don't remember why you were late. You weren't working with Amazon, you were still at the dealership, but there was a day that I had a party, and for some reason he got stuck at work, or I can't remember what happened, and I had to do a live party with my kids crying. Worst thing ever. I was like, nope, I can't. So we definitely schedule things around his schedule. Last year, for example, because of the pandemic, he got laid off. So I did not do events last year because I didn't want to risk his job because he was working Saturdays. Now he's actually told his boss, I can't work Saturdays. My wife works Saturdays because I have events in the fall. And we don't want to miss that opportunity. So we definitely do work together, not only with our schedule, but in support. So he knows that Saturdays, at least 2 Saturdays of the month, starting in September, he's either with me at an event or he's with the kids at home. So he's taking the day off from work to work our Scentsy business. But we definitely schedule that stuff around each other. I don't have very much support from my spouse when it comes to Scentsy. I feel like I would achieve more knowing he had my back and believed in the way that I do. Are there any ways to show him that? I think, in my experience, Danny always had my back. So it's kind of hard to say from experience this. But I can tell you, hearing him defend our business, he's watching. And so we have family that are very skeptical, right? That's actually a very nice way of saying it. They don't believe in what I do. And him standing up for me and saying her paycheck is real is like him telling me he's watching. He knows that this is real. So my advice would be is try to find a balance so that they don't feel like Scentsy is taking completely over your life and they're feeling neglected. And 2, I think that maybe once you show him how Scentsy is blessing your family, he'll be more open to the support. I think that a lot of people are either skeptical because of the bad rap or, and this happened to us at the beginning, I was working full time, so it was easy for me to take my Scentsy money and reinvest it, and we weren't really seeing that money. So when I had deli and I had to stop working, and now it was like, I can't buy that limited edition thing, or I can't buy that new warmer that I really want because we don't have the money. And we started seeing how the money was helping us at the house. It was paying, the light bill or the gas, or it was paying our phone bill. And eventually it got to bigger bills where last April I paid our rent. I paid our mortgage. And that was, for me, I was super excited. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just paid the mortgage. That's just ridiculous. But when I did those things, he was like, oh, Scentsy's real. You're bringing in real money. You're not bringing in, $25, $50. You're not just spending it all to reinvest. Yes, we have to reinvest, right? Because we need tools, we need all the things, but we don't need every single LTO. We don't need every single special that Scentsy has. When they have a clearance sale, we don't have to buy it all. I used to be that way. And so I feel like sometimes when we get started, we're so excited about the business and we find all these amazing deals and all this stuff. And we think, oh, well, I have to buy it because someone might want it later. Take Orville's advice. Don't spend family money on Scentsy. Spend Scentsy money on family. Treat your spouse to something nice at the end of the month. We have a deal where if we hit our rank, like if we hit our title, we take our family out to a nice restaurant for dinner. That's their...
Sorry.
Not you, Siri. That's like our gift to us for all the time that we invest into our business. We might go in, buy some ice cream and be like, hey, we're going to have an ice cream night or a movie night. The other day we invited my brother over and we had a movie night and I, paid for the movie with my Scentsy money. Or I'll say, hey, let's go to the movies. Scentsy's paying for it, Do something for your family to show them that, hey, this is real. This is real. And I think when you start showing them those little things, they start opening their eyes, but they're definitely watching. Do you have any advice from a spouse point of view as to how they could prove to you that this is real, like that you need their support if you weren't supportive? Like,
no, I mean, you pretty much covered it. I mean, just like you said, like, show your significant other that it's, that you're able to, like she said, pay, the little bills here and there until you eventually work it up where you can pay the rent or your mortgage or even the car payments, insurance, phone bill, whatnot. I mean, something, it doesn't matter. You pay one bill, it takes a load off your chest.
That's true.
Having her to pretty much work from home, sit at home, and just take it easy and not work as hard as, like I do. I'm out there 10, 11 hours a day, but for her to, be at home and, to be bringing a decent paycheck to help out with the bills, it's a relief. It helps a lot.
And I think that, I lost my train. What I was going to say about, you had said something that stuck out to me. And it doesn't have to be something huge, okay? Don't think that because you can't afford to pay your rent or pay your car or whatever, you're not doing something big. Extra $25 for your grocery bill is big, okay? There was times where we were on food assistance. There was times where I was budgeting $25 a week for groceries. So those little things are huge depending on your situation that you're in. So know that your situation can be very different from ours, but it's still big and significant for you. And whatever reason you join Scentsy, let that be your why regardless. And lastly, I will add, remember when you're thinking you don't have spousal support, and this is coming from my experience, don't feel like they're not being supportive because they're not doing what you need them to do. Go back to those strengths and weaknesses. Work off their strengths. If their strength is just passing out a catalog, that's enough because they're helping you. If that's all they can give, trust me, that is enough, and they will come. They will do things on their own. Look for opportunities for them to know more about Scentsy. Like, there's times where we've sat and we've done trainings together, or we watched trainings together.
I know one thing that I do that you don't do. I'm the one that goes in and drops off all the flyers or talk to random strangers because you don't. So I'm the introvert, but I'm the one.
That is so true.
I'm the one that's brave enough to go to a random stranger like, hey,
yes,
this is what I got, or this is what we got.
That is so true, because you don't care.
I don't.
Well, I do. I'm like, if that person told me no, my whole world is gonna crash, and he's like, whatever. You don't want it? Okay, cool, whatever. But yeah, he does do that. He will go in and he'll like drop off flyers. He will give them to people that we don't know. I've gotten a little bit better, but definitely still have a long ways to go. But do you guys have any other questions that maybe we haven't covered? I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I think that's pretty much all you can do. It's just help out in any way you can.
And I think communication is key. I think even though we're thinking in a business mindset, it's still a relationship, a marriage. It's still something that needs communication. Being our own boss is rewarding, but it's hard, okay? It is amazing, like the possibilities that we can have, but it takes work and dedication. And I always tell him, I'm like, the longer you take to do this, the longer it'll take me to retire you. But so we joke around about it because we know he knows my goals. My goal is to retire him. My goal is to have him have a choice if he wants to work outside the house. You know, like he's not one to just sit, but he might not want to work full time. He might not want to work where he's working now, you know, but he knows our goal. He knows where we're going. And so he does what he can to get us there. And I feed off what he can give me to continue working. So like I'll take what he gives me, right? He'll watch the kids, he'll help me label, he'll help me separate orders, and then I have more time to do trainings for the team, lives for my customers, parties, events, all the things, because he's taking care of things that I don't have to do. But I know that spousal support is very, very important. And I know that our significant other, our close relationships, our parents, some of that, their opinion matters to us. Like it really does. But also know that you have what it takes to get your business going. They're watching from the sidelines. And when they see what they need to see, which is maybe just, hey, is this real? Is she really into this? Is this really gonna like make her money? When they see that, they'll come around, I promise. They'll come around. I hope you guys liked what we had to share today. I know that that it wasn't like super like we didn't go like over 1 million things, but I hope that you guys found some things that are working and that you guys can put into effect when you guys are working with your significant other, when you guys are talking to them. And if you guys have any questions, we're here. We're here for you guys. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.